Hello, everybody. One person, one single person. This is
Really?
Ryan the Pine. Yeah, it's my mom. She's watching. Hi,
Is
Mom.
she real? Hello,
No.
Mom.
No, she's not.
Oh.
This is Riding the Pine, and this is our first live stream. And we didn't tell anybody about it, except for on Twitter a little bit, so no one will be here. But the idea here is we will do a live show every Monday around 9 p.m. until season, and then we'll start it whenever the football game starts, and then we'll call that game, and then we'll have an open podcast sort of hangout thing after the situation. But we want to get into it now, and during the summertime, maybe we'll do some baseball games or something. Well, but we're not doing a game today. We're just going to hang out, get these guys used to it, get you guys used to it, have some sort of baseline for this, and also maybe strip on camera. Who knows? What you guys doing? Burger King.
I'll leave the stripping to Lou.
Lou is the Burger King.
Both I and our viewers appreciate that, John. Thank you. That really does mean a lot.
So you may notice the Lou there with the Burger King crown.
I said if we got more than 3 viewers, I would wear this, but I'm feeling generous, so.
Well, you still never answered my question on Twitter though. What's the bet for the over/under? Because I took the over
replied.
at 3.5.
I replied in the thing. If I was wrong, I would wear the crown. I replied in WhatsApp. I didn't reply on Twitter. Sorry.
Oh, my bad. I didn't see it.
So,
look, the Burger King is here in the comments. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
there are comments. Where are their comments?
You
I
have
have
to open
no
the stream.
idea how this works.
Yeah.
This is why we're here, and you weren't listening earlier when we were talking before we started this, which is why you don't know how to do this. So here's lesson number 1. Open the stream from the links that you have been sent. It's on Twitter, of course. You can check the Twitter at the Pine Bench, wink, and just make sure you turn the volume off, otherwise it'll fuck you up. Not you guys. You guys keep it on. You turn it off because we're making the noise. You don't need to hear it again. So who burped? This is a professional show. God damn it. Anyways, so the idea here is the other day during the podcast we talked about these abominations. These are mac and Cheetos, and burger. It's a Cheeto with macaroni and cheese instead, because Burger King's out to kill us all. I think slowly.
No, actually, I would disagree, Jake. They've been slowly killing us for years. This is DEFCON 3. They've gone nuclear, and they're ready to go. So this is not slowly anymore. Hey, by the way, so how do I see the fucking chat? Because there's apparently 4 people here. Do I just?
By the way,
five now. And by the way, we're going to continually tweet about this throughout the show. So mac and Cheetos.
Mac and Cheetos, here they are. I got mine.
So basically, we're gonna pop. I haven't looked at this yet. I don't know what these look like. I assume they look like orange tubes. So I'm gonna pop these open.
Oh, they look like cheese sticks.
God, there's a 9mm in here.
Because for after when you eat it, you can just kill yourself. Okay, so it looks like something you get from a school lunch. It looks like it's made out of chicken, actually.
Yeah,
it's surprisingly extra garbage. Anyway, it looks like a sort of a mozzarella stick size. Smells like a mozzarella stick. It doesn't smell like a Cheeto whatsoever.
No, yeah.
So I guess we're gonna.
It just smells like fried. It just smells like oil.
All right, I guess I'm gonna eat it.
Give it a shot here.
That's unsatisfying.
Okay.
Now,
I'm getting 0 Cheeto out of this.
No, I'm getting no Cheeto.
A lot of oil.
Yeah. It's not
a lot of oil. Most of us, we don't really eat a lot of fast food here. You couldn't probably tell that by our size, but we really do.
We're a bunch of fat asses, but anyway.
But not a lot of fast food.
Now, Jake or John, have either of you ever had fried mac and cheese before? Like actually fried?
Yeah,
okay,
and it's good.
This, as far as mac and cheese, I would say this isn't terrible, but it's not. This is like the Mark Burnell of fried mac and cheese. Like it's like the Ryan Fitzpatrick of fried mac and cheese. It's just
Ryan
there.
Fitzpatrick has a nice beard. This has nothing. Okay. It's like it's dense.
Yeah, so I'll give you my quick take here. So it tastes like somebody dropped a couple of pieces of macaroni into the cheese while they were making a cheese stick,
Yeah.
hot stick, and then maybe breathed on it after eating a bag of Cheetos.
Breathed on it.
It really does taste like this was an accident. Like, this wasn't supposed to happen. This was like how peanut butter was accidentally invented, or how Reese's Pieces were accidentally invented, or my cousin Jason. Like, this is all accidents, like, through and through. Like, this wasn't supposed to happen.
I'm really, I'm surprisingly, I'm disappointed there's not Cheeto flavor happening.
Yeah,
here. You know what I mean?
I wanted to have a little bit of an inundation of Cheeto flavor.
That should be a Cheeto punch with like a mac and cheese background thing going on. Instead, it's just like, here's an orange stick, it's super bad.
You know, I was really getting my hopes up that, like, these would be super terrible. Like, that's how terrible these are. They're not even terrible enough. They disappoint me at how terrible they are.
Yeah,
like,
that's a great way to put it.
They're so mediocre that I'm like, man, I wish this tasted like a dead sewer rat. I wish it did, so I could rant about it, because that's funny television. This is.
Do you know what?
Mine's really bad.
Better?
Mine are old.
How old?
Mine are like, I got them at. Working on 35 minutes at this point.
Yeah, mine are about 30 minutes old too.
It's got like a taste to it.
Yeah, it's a weird yeah. So we have a couple new viewers. I'll just show everybody. This is what we're taste testing right now. Burger King mac and cheese. Do you know what would make these better? Thing. You know what would make these better?
Not having them and having a shot of heroin in your arm.
You know the packets of cheese that come with macaroni and cheese. Like crab
the Easy Mac.
Like cheese dipping sauce?
Yeah. Mix a little bit of water into that powder packet and then just dip them in that.
Now, did y'all get a ranch? Did y'all get a ranch dip with y'all's?
Did y'all's get a ranch with y'all's what?
I said, did y'all get a ranch dip with yours? With y'all's? Yeah, you all. Did you
I
all
can't understand your words from down. You know what? I'm disappointed they gave us 5. I wish I didn't have to eat these.
Well, I'm only having to eat 3 because the girlfriend took 2, so I'm only having to suffer through 3.
Why don't you like her? Why would you do such a thing?
Did she offer to take them off your hands? Like, hey, I got a deal for you.
No sex for 3 months. That was the deal. So,
wow.
In my opinion, well worth it.
Okay, I'm really not happy with this.
No.
I'm choking this last piece down, and I'm probably not going to touch them again.
I really wish they were worse. Now, to give you guys some stats, I want a little stat boy on us today. Here's something that's crazy when you think about it. Think about it. You just ate fried mac and cheese. This is actually healthier, and I say healthier in the same sense that, you know, a newborn child is healthier than Hulk Hogan with a bullet hole in his chest. But these are actually healthier than a small fry from McDonald's. Or, excuse me, from Burger King. These are actually healthier than a small fry. A small fry, hold on, let me pull it up. So a small fry at Burger King has 420 calories in it. These have 310 calories. So these are actually slightly less. Fat. Well, and that's another thing.
It's filled with cheese.
Your calories from fat in these are about 65%, and fries they're about 75%. So these are actually a little bit healthier, and I say that in very loose terms, a little bit healthier than French fries.
They're like 230 or something like that, 229.
I think it's 240.
Not quite. Well, wherever. I mean, it's probably different markets, but wherever you're at, don't get them.
No, just don't eat these. Don't eat these. These are terrible, and they're not even terrible enough for you to be able to tell people, I ate this terrible thing. It's so
yeah, no, they're
bland.
just kind of like you forget about it. Actually, my girlfriend had them last week, forgot to tell me. That's how bad they are. Because she would have told me something like that, like, oh my god, I tried these fucking mac and Cheetos things, they're terrible. And she just totally forgot until I mentioned it today that we were doing this.
I will say, and shame on you that she doesn't listen to the show, that she didn't already know, because mine listens to the show, okay? Mine is subscribed, so shame on you. Best thing about these, though, the one positive I can say, I've never had a thing of Cheetos and not needed to lick my fingers afterwards. That's how un-Cheeto-y these are. They don't leave any residue on your fingers.
Why are they? Why is Cheetos involved in this?
They're not Cheetos
Did they copyright? Did they copyright the color orange? Like, I don't know how these have anything to do with Cheetos. They could literally be called Mac in balls, and I would believe them.
Well, they're not balls.
They taste like a little bit of balls.
No,
you could make
they're
them
little
balls.
wieners.
Mac balls.
They're little wieners.
You call them Mac wieners. I don't care, but there's not. They barely look like a Cheeto. Have you ever seen a Cheeto this big?
That's
really.
a Cheeto Puff,
like,
dude. Have you Cheeto Puffs?
No, they're smaller and clear.
No,
like,
yeah,
no, they don't have the girth. Look at the girth. Look at the girth. I'm rotating this.
It's girthy.
That's too girthy. It's too girthy for a Cheeto Puff.
Okay, we're gonna have
Cheeto Puffs are like a pinky. Cheeto Puffs are like a pinky.
All right, this Friday when we record,
I don't want to eat more shit with you.
That's why
we've had Gronks and Cheeto things and more Gronks.
You know what this is really? I have a junk food addiction, and I'm just bringing you guys into it to validate my addiction and say that it's okay. I'm creating enablers by being on this show. That's what this is all about for me.
It's not good. Like, usually this is sort of like I feel like bad food goes with sports, and that was kind of the joke.
Definitely.
Like we watch the Super Bowl together and eat shitty food, but this is beyond. I wouldn't serve this to people, even ones I don't like.
This is where I'll put it for anybody that's never had them. If you decide, hey, maybe I should go to Burger King and try these, stop at the 7-Eleven that's just before it and get a slice of pizza instead.
You know what? I'll take you one step further, John. I will say
get the tornadoes.
Go to the 7-Eleven and get that sushi that the guy at the counter says, "Really? You sure?" Get that instead, because then at least you'll have a story to tell. You don't have a story to tell.
My 7-Eleven has a McDonald's in it. So.
And I thought it was bad enough that we had a McDonald's in the Walmart. You have a McDonald's in your 7-Eleven?
We have Burger King in the Walmart, which I don't ever go to here. Yeah. So I'm glad we didn't get the hot dogs though. I couldn't have gone for two bad things.
No way. Couldn't do it. I enjoy hot dogs, so there's no way I could have gone there with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to ruin hot dogs for me. I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah. So I guess that concludes. Let me see I'll review their Coke for you.
Yeah. Guys, this is all we had planned, so we really just shot our load in like 20 minutes. Like,
thanks.
Y'all can go home. This is the show. Bye. Appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below. All the other things you're supposed to say on YouTube.
I have never said like, share, and subscribe. I do say subscribe. Never like and share, because I wouldn't wish that on anyone else.
If you really like us, you can leave us $1 on Patreon.
It's not for other people. Like, that's not a decision you have to push at other people. That's my job to push it, not yours. But yeah, so I don't really know what's going on in sports because we talked like 2 days ago.
Okay, so here's
I do know that Jake Arrieta got a bad tattoo.
Very bad tattoo.
Who was the guy? It was some utility player on their bench.
Yeah.
Some guy. Jake Arrieta, the pitcher for the Cubs.
National League Cy Young winner.
Yeah, I assume it was College World based. Anyway, he got like what was it, like West Virginia or something?
Yeah, didn't he get a West Virginia get the outline of West Virginia tattooed on him?
Yeah.
Which West Virginia is like the tumoriest looking state. It resembles a tumor more than any other.
Like, it is the topographical map of the tumor, I think, and then the founding fathers are like, sure, I guess, and they put it there. That's how geography works, right?
Yeah, it's got more character than like fucking Kansas or like New Mexico that are just fucking squares and rectangles. It's got some character, but I mean, it looks sickly.
Have you ever been to West Virginia? I have.
I've been there a couple of times. Yeah.
Ooh, no, thank you. It's okay. So if you drive straight into a fucking mountainside, and then inside that mountain, behind it, I guess, because you drive through, it's just a tunnel, and behind it is all the racists, and then they live there, kind of like the Shire, only mountainous and shitty. It's Mordor, but racists.
I was gonna say, do they hide and wait for you to come out like the people, like the Munchkins in Wizard of Oz?
They're all KKK Gollum, so they're like, any Negroes coming in? Well, so I drove through at the time, and it was years ago, and at the time I had a girlfriend who was like half Arabic, and we got out of there fast. Hey, weird. We stopped at a Burger King there too because it was like 3 a.m.
Full circle, weird.
Man.
Yeah. That being said, though, is it sort of like the Wizard of Oz for you? That's the feel I got. Like, you drive out and there'd be nobody there, and then Grendel, the good Grand Wizard of the West, would come out and say, "Everyone, come out! It's okay. He didn't vote for Obama either," and they all poke their heads out.
and then in the third act, they find out you did vote for Obama.
Yeah,
Twice.
and then I click my heels together 3 times, and then Bernie Sanders comes and saves me. That's how that story ends.
I feel like that should have been a socialism joke. Like Bernie Sanders comes and takes your shoes away because they're not regulation.
That's
but
right,
gives you these nicer shoes.
That's well.
And also he protects you. No.
Right,
Anyways,
because I had shoes and other people didn't, so he cut my shoes up into 14 equal parts and gave each one of us a 14th of a pair of shoes. That's how that story ends. Thanks,
that's a better
Obama.
socialism joke.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You gotta wait for it, but I'll get there. I'll get there.
2 things.
Yes, John.
2 things. First, Lou, Arbaugh's in the chat.
So,
how
do I get to the fucking chat?
Oh.
Where is the chat button?
Ryan's in the chat, and he says, Lou, nobody wants to help you with your addiction.
Okay, before anyone says any other shit, how do I get to the chat? I've never done this before.
Dude, I told you gotta open the actual stream link that I've been tweeting. Click that. It's just a YouTube video, and then you press mute so that you don't hear yourself talk twice. Those are the only instructions. Watch it like anyone else watches it.
The other thing is to the Pootie64. Yes, Pootie, I am gonna love you. Don't kid yourself. We're fake talking about sports too.
Yeah, it's fine. So some people are asking like, "Hey, I don't know anything about sports. Can you guys kind of give us like some sort of prep?" No, we can't. You gotta just kind of ride with it until you figure it out. Like maybe sometimes we'll try to explain stuff if questions are asked, like, "What is a strikeout in baseball?" I'm willing to teach that, but only if it's asked. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to do a show where I explain the rules of basketball. That would be boring as fuck. But yeah.
It would, but
I wish Ryan was in this hangout.
I know.
Ryan Bauer. Why not in the hangout? You're on the show.
What are you doing?
Stupid Ryan. He can watch. It's fine. So you guys were talking about UFC the other day after we had finished recording because we didn't have time to fit it in and it didn't really make sense. But is there anything coming up in UFC 200 that you guys wanted to bring up because now is your chance?
Okay, so just in general, have you seen the card?
How do I get to this?
Me personally?
Yeah, have you actually seen
click the goddamn link, Lou. You click it. You click the link.
I click it.
It's a YouTube video.
I click it, you piece of shit, and it says you're already in it. And you're already in a thing. It says
no. What?
Lou, you got it.
Lewis, goddammit. I'm gonna. Okay, now I have to tag this cunt on the Twitter. Okay, there you have the link. Just click that, and then please mute it.
No. I did, and it says you're already in a video call.
Yeah, you shouldn't be. No, that's wrong. You're clicking the. Oh, Ryan wouldn't have been home in time. Oh. No, you clicked the Hangout invite. Not the YouTube video.
Okay.
Anyways, I have not seen the card. Who was on the card, John?
All right. So we'll start with the preliminary card.
I don't know what that means.
That's the fights before the fights before the fights.
I'm gonna see if I can eat another one of these pieces of shit while you talk.
Oh Jesus. Good. Best of luck. So we've got 2 lightweight and a middleweight in the preliminary. Diego Sanchez versus Joe Lawson. Gegard Mousasi versus Thiago Santos, which is actually going to be a really good fight. Gegard used to fight in the Strike Force. He also fought in Sherdog. I think he was in Dream for a while. The guy's an animal. He's actually... I'm going to click on it because I don't want to get it wrong. He is of Iranian descent. He was born in Tehran. The guy's a monster. He's a really good fighter, and I'm surprised that he's on the preliminary card. And then Jim Miller versus Takanori Gomi. That's the preliminaries. Now the crazy thing is, the fight the Fox Sports 1 preliminaries, which are the fights before the fights.
Yeah, so to explain to everybody how this works, so what UFC has done at this point to make themselves, to use a marketing term, platform agnostic, they actually view their first set of fights on the Fight TV network, and then, or the Fight Pass network, and then for the next 3 to 4 fights, you have to go to Fox Sports 1, so you actually have to switch different platforms, and they're able to get more marketing revenue that way.
That sounds terrible. I do not want to switch
providers. It's how they spread stuff around, and then the actual stuff comes out on the pay-per-view.
That's like watching like football, and like the first half is somewhere and the second half is somewhere else.
So the prelims are on Fight Pass TV. They actually used to stream them on Facebook, and it was pretty cool when they did that. But they've stopped doing that, and then the actual prelims are on Fox Sports 1, and that's a good card in itself. Kat Zingano is going to be in it. Johnny Hendricks is fighting Kelvin Gastelum. TJ Dillashaw is fighting in the bantamweights. Sage Northcutt is listed. There's a couple of those, but
I don't know any of these names.
But this, I know you don't because you don't watch it. This main card.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I have to cut you off real quick.
Certainly.
I have to cut you off right before you get into that. Every time I look at you, there's like just this little itty bitty black thing near the top, right behind your head. It looks like someone's peeking out behind the thing every time. So it looks like someone's going to take you from us.
They may.
I don't know.
And that's how we wrote that. And that's how we
wrote
it's a lamp off the show.
What is that? What?
It's a glass. It's a glass heart that my wife hung here.
Oh, so it's a cute decoration that looks like it was going to abduct you.
Yes.
Noted. Got it. Carry on.
So this main card is going to be a lot of fun. You've got Daniel Cormier versus John Jones, and
I know those names, and those guys don't like each other, right?
No.
I know a thing.
CD and John Jones are going for the light heavyweight championship, and these guys have a lot of history together. Sorry about that. These guys have a lot of history together, and I mean, it's amazing at this point how UFC, in an actual sport where they can't control things, they are better at doing storylines and building feuds. They're better at doing pro wrestling than pro wrestling is at this point. I mean, the story between these two, they out Vince McMahon. The story between these two is essentially at 187, John Jones is the champion. He and CD are going up against each other, and if you just type UFC 187 presser or weigh-in, they walk up to one another, they get in each other's faces, they shove each other a little bit, and John Jones just unloads with a right hook and just nails him, and it turns into a full-blown melee. They knock down the screen behind them that says like UFC 187 on it and everything, and they're just killing each other on the floor. It's a pretty good free fight you can watch on YouTube. Of course, John Jones ends up winning that fight. And then a few months later, John Jones is indefinitely suspended by the UFC because he was involved in a hit-and-run incident in New Jersey. Later he gets stripped of his championship. Later he gets absolved of it and everything, so he comes back in. Well, in that meantime, DC had gone on and won the actual light heavyweight title. So now he's got the belt. And a few months later, he couldn't compete, so they had a match for the interim light heavyweight championship, and John Jones won that. So this is a joining of the interim light heavyweight championship and the real heavyweight championship, and the last time these two faced each other, the belts were swapped. So this is a really, really interesting, really, really fun fight.
That's all very interesting. But have you guys seen how bad these are? Not good.
No.
I ate my third one.
Oh, I already finished mine off. I powered through it.
You finished them?
I power fucked my way through, dude. No, you don't sit there and enjoy the 400-pound woman. You finish and you get out, dude. What are you talking about?
This is not a 400-pound woman.
You will be one. You will be one after you finish them. Yes.
This is something you mistook for a human being while on a bender, and then you wake up and you're like, oh, that's a goat. Then you fuck it again, and then you leave.
But John, the one that I'm the most interested in from this entire thing from UFC 200 is Brock and Mark Hunt. I mean, granted, that's
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar versus Mark Hunt, and Brock is on loan.
The bully from high school.
No, not the bully from junior high that I had. This is, there's no title implications here. In fact, Mark Hunt was asked in an interview yesterday, and he came out and said, look, even if I go out there and knock out Brock in the first round, it's not going to get me any closer to a heavyweight title shot. This has no implication for me. I'm just here for the cash, which good for him for being realistic about his career and his projection in his career at this point. Good for you. You're self-aware. Good job.
How much cash? Do you know?
They're a private company, so they don't have to disclose how much guys make. If he chooses
garbage.
to, he can.
Man, I want to know what these cash grabs are like. It'd make it more interesting for me.
They're pretty good, and most of these guys will end up publishing it. Most of these guys talk about it. But anyway, so he's there for the fight. The thing that's really interesting about this, and I know probably no one here watching is a wrestling fan. I am, though. And WWE has been so desperate. They have been so desperate to get either Miesha Tate or Ronda Rousey in a WWE ring for a match at one of their big things.
We know Ronda Rousey.
Whether
one of those names.
Whether it's SummerSlam, well, Miesha Tate's the current bantamweight champion, the current bantamweight champion, and so whether it's SummerSlam, whether it's WrestleMania,
in a WWE ring. There's no way.
I couldn't hear a word you said.
John, you just sounded real scratchy and shitty.
Yeah, but, you sounded like a Florida man.
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay now?
No.
Zero okay. But that's fine. Lou, keep talking.
Well, but the thing that makes it interesting is Brock Lesnar in WWE has been one of their hottest properties for the last 3 years, and his character is essentially he's this unstoppable hate god that just wants to fucking destroy everything. His gimmick is he rips car doors off and throws them into the audience and hits children with them. That's his gimmick at this point. That's actually something.
Car doors?
Yes, that actually happened. He tore apart a car on an episode of Raw and he threw it into the audience and it hit a child in the face. So that happened.
How's the child's head?
Don't know. Don't care. But that's what Brock does. And if Brock goes off and he loses to Mark Hunt, who, Mark Hunt is no slouch. I mean, he's had 2 knockouts in the past 7 months, one against Frank Mir, who granted Frank Mir is on the downward spiral tail end of his career, but he's gone out there and had a couple knockouts. Brock hadn't been in the octagon in 2.5 years. He could go out there and get walloped. And if he does, what does WWE do? Fuck, we've invested all this money in this guy. This guy is supposed to be our big badass, and he just went out there and got bitched out by a guy who's got bigger tits than the ring girl. That's not gonna bode well for WWE.
Is Mark Hunt a big dude?
He's from New Zealand, so I'll leave it at that. He's one of those big New Zealand, just Samoan-like guys. Yeah, he's one of those Islander guys. He's just big warrior. Yeah, just big flabby guy. Just big flabby dude. Actually, no. He doesn't have like the tribal. He doesn't have like the Rock tribal tattoos. No.
That's not cool.
But the point is it just reeks of desperation by the WWE. They want one of the main women so bad to come over and validate their product. And I just think UFC is just stringing them along. I don't think there's any way, because UFC is the one who's in the driver's seat, there's no way they're gonna let one of their main women go over to WWE. No way.
If they want their products validated, they just need to make a macaroni and cheese Cheeto covered stick and have us try it on the show, and then make it good, and we will validate them.
Can you guys hear me okay now?
No, you sound like garbage.
John, you sound like the audio equivalent of a Mac and Cheeto.
Right, I'm gonna leave and come right back.
Sounds good to me. You should leave and come back. I hope that works out for John. Maybe we have lost him forever in real life. Maybe he died.
It was probably that stalker that was behind us, that was behind him that finally took him out. That's how we write him off the show.
Did we write him off the show?
Yeah, dude. Wait, what is this, Game of Thrones? What are we doing here? I can't remember. What is this?
I don't know. I don't watch Game of Thrones. I don't know if you could possibly spoil that for me.
Julian, we just talked about UFC for 10 minutes. Shut up.
God damn it, Julian. God damn it, Julian.
You're sitting here telling us yesterday how underrated we are. Well, go promote us. Go do it.
LOL, is this even a sports podcast? I agree. UFC isn't a sport.
UFC is more of a sport than soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It is.
It's probably equally a sport.
No.
I'm
Nope.
trying to get through these. I have 2 more, and they're just kind of on this napkin now.
Are you still suffering through those? For fuck's sake, man. This is what you having to suffer through these things is what it's like for Phillies fans to have to go through the regular season right now. Like they have to just suffer through and just plow through this horrible thing.
There you go. Baseball reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll do some baseball games.
There you go, Julian. You got your money's worth, you shit.
Actually, how is neither a sport? Soccer is a sport. Soccer is just a girly communist sport.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. Like badminton or handball or what do the Chinese play?
Handball is what kids play.
Ping pong.
Handball is what kids played in the streets in Brooklyn, man.
No, handball is what elite white men play at the local gym.
You mean squash?
Or
you mean
racquetball?
Squash?
It's both.
That's racquetball,
all of those are the same sport, but one has a racket and the other one, I don't know why that's named after a gourd.
You're bad at being white.
Squash and handball are the same, right? I feel like we need to know what the difference between squash and handball is.
Julian, get on it. You want some sports so damn bad.
Yeah. I don't... John, do you know the difference between squash and handball?
Squash uses a racket.
What about racquetball and squash then?
Squash is racquetball. It's the same thing, isn't it?
Squash is racquetball?
No, there are differences.
Oh my God, that's different. See, I would never know.
The racket is a different shape and length. I do know that. I don't know what all the differences are, but the racket for squash is longer and the head is a lot smaller.
Oh, so like me.
Slower and sexier.
Hung like glue.
Ooh, nice.
Thank you for complimenting me on my girth. I appreciate that, John.
That's all you got going for you. Short and girthy.
That's it, man.
That's even reach the G spot. It's just kind of like if someone were to like, you're like, yeah, come on in, and then they just stopped at the front door, and just kind of stood in the doorway. That's what your dick's like.
Pretty much, and I would just every once in a while just stick my arms out at the front door and try and talk to them.
God damn.
That's actually a pretty good representation of what my penis looks like. It's just these little.
It looks like this.
Yeah, it looks like that.
It just porcupine. Have you ever seen a porcupine dick? That's exactly what those look like.
Wait.
What? Are you looking?
I gotta look this up. Julian.
Well, we don't have to wait for you. What?
No. You don't have to wait for me. I was just gonna say Julian is saying that racket.
Wait, squash is played outside? I mean, squash is played outside. If racquetball is.
Squash isn't played outside. I'll tell you how I know that. Because the Manhattan
Well, then go get
Project,
your friends, Pootie.
The Manhattan Project was under the squash court at Chicago University. So, squash is played indoors.
Yeah.
I gotta go look this up.
Manhattan Project. It's where we killed all the Japanese people later.
Oh, yeah, there was that.
Yeah, lots of them. Other than that one guy that survived both. Good times. Good times. Oh. What else is going on in sports, guys? You guys were talking about one other thing, and I can't remember for the life of me.
England versus Iceland.
All I know about that is that the England coach, I saw a tweet, makes like $4.5 million, and the Iceland coach is a part-time dentist.
Which just further proof that soccer's not a sport, because any idiot part-time dentist can coach a team. It's a fucking game. He says
as Monday morning quarterback for the Texans every season.
Lou, if you keep talking like this, the Bretts are going to start calling for Texit.
That's fine. Hey, that's fine, because I think they just Brexited from the UEFA Cup or the Euro Cup, whatever the fuck. Burn. 2 Brexits in one weekend.
Uh-oh.
Good. Did they? What? I don't understand.
Did he say goosh? What?
Gagoosh. Gagoosh. It's like it's the German equivalent of sploosh.
No, I think that's Shiza. I think that's a shit porn.
But no, so are they kicked out of the the Euro Cup or the UEFA?
Yeah,
are they kicked out now?
They got eliminated. It's the first time that Iceland has ever made it out of group play. It's
weird. Was it? Is that where PewDiePie is from? I think it's his fault.
He's from one of those like Baltic countries where everybody's like, "Are you Swede? Are you Swedish? Is that what you are?" He's from one of those countries where everybody thinks it's like Finland and all those places. Yeah. Finland, Denmark. Everybody thinks it's Sweden.
Do you mean Nordic, Blue?
I said Baltic, didn't I? I meant Nordic. I said Baltic.
It's fine. Own it.
I own it. All the way.
A bunch of olive-skinned folks are Swedish. Jake's turning into a robot now.
A robot.
I don't know what that means. That sounded wonderful. PewDiePie is not Swedish. He's probably Swedish. I have no idea. I don't know PewDiePie. He's probably a good guy.
I don't watch PewDiePie.
I don't either.
All right, number 4.
So, Lou, I needed to get your thoughts on it, though. What are your thoughts on Iceland, England? Mr. Soccer himself.
Get rid of both of them. Get rid of both of them. All right? Soccer playing communists.
Oh my God.
That's it. No.
Oh, Jake, you look miserable.
I won't discuss soccer.
You just look like you are in the absolute worst shape.
It's so bad. This was a mistake.
I'm just telling you right now, I took half of a bite out of one, and now these are sitting on my side table smelling like old dirty feet.
You people are garbage. I suffered through these fucking things, and y'all haven't even eaten them.
No, you power fucked them.
I power fucked my way through those things, yeah.
They're getting so much worse. Don't buy those. Oh God.
No, I suggest everybody don't buy them. They're no. Now that being said, everybody out there, if you're at a county fair in the South, do fried mac and cheese. That's delicious. If you have a redneck making it for you, that's fantastic. This is not good.
This does not good.
This does not good at all.
Now someone says I sound like a robot.
Nah, you're fine. But
I'm laboring through that.
So speaking of fried, what is your favorite country fried food? Like things you get at a fair that they fry that shouldn't be fried. Favorite
Oreos.
Oh yeah,
Oreos.
Definitely Oreos or corn dogs, which are supposed to be fried, but still.
Mine is Oreos or Snickers. I know like the go-to for everybody is Twinkies. Fried Twinkies are a fucking mess.
Twinkies are gross, yeah. No,
you bite into
it, too oily.
It just falls all over the place. Those are
And
garbage.
it's also an oil lick, just like eating vegetable oil out of a sponge cake. It's super gross. No, man.
And to answer Julian's, or to reply to what Julian just said, Lou is a power bottom. That is not true. Lou is the power bottom, sir. Thank you. Go ahead and make that correction.
Okay.
I define power bottom. Eventually, here in the next couple of years, they're just going to say, "Hey, I heard that guy's a real Lou." They're just going to redefine the term.
Oh, good.
Ryan just said his favorite are the pickles.
Pickles are pretty good.
Yeah, but fried pickles aren't really like something unusual. You can get that at any restaurant, or like any Buffalo Wild Wings or Twin Peaks or Hooters. You can get those anywhere.
About the fried butter, which sounds fucking awful. I've never had that.
Ooh, I don't know about that one.
I haven't tried it. I've been told it's just a fried Twinkie with the volume turned way up as far as being an oil trap waiting for you.
I don't think I could do that. I think I would throw up.
What I can't stand is also like they do weird frozen stuff. Have you ever had a chocolate covered frozen banana?
I don't like those.
It's like eating It's like eating a granite dildo.
All right, let's parlay this into sports related. Best kind of ballpark sports food that you get at a venue. And I'll have to say my favorite thing to get at any venue, regardless, is their version of a cheesesteak. Right?
I can dig that.
If I'm in the Northeast, yeah. If I'm in the Northeast, yeah, but not everywhere has great cheesesteaks.
That's fair. I mean, Denver had a pretty good cheesesteak last time I was there. I was there for the Avalanche game versus somebody. It was like their last game of the season, whoever they played. I think they lost, but
now is this specifically baseball we're talking about, or all sports?
All sports. Man,
I'll tell you this: if it's cold outside, nothing beats when you're freezing your ass off. I was at A&M in Missouri, up in Missouri a couple of years ago, freezing my ass off, 15 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Irish coffees. Irish coffees were fantastic.
That's not
while
a
you're
food,
outside.
though. That's a drink.
Oh, okay.
That's like I would say like, you know, like every place has pretty good hot dogs. I hear Chicago has the best ones. Usually Wrigley gets talked about.
For me, if they have them and not everywhere does, I'm a sucker for a good funnel cake, dude. I love funnel cakes, man.
Those are dangerous. Those are the same thing as that fair food, man.
Well, you know what? No. Also, like my go-to is anything, and this is kind of a shitty answer. Anything I can eat out of a batting helmet, I'm good for.
No, like ice cream or chili cheese fries or like.
Yeah, I can dig that.
Well, you guys saw me document at that one Astros game where I ate an entire batting helmet full of nachos, right?
Right. Dude, nachos, by the way, the Pootie64 said nachos at a baseball game. I agree with that, especially if you have like those little pickled jalapenos that have been sitting in the sun too long.
Yeah. But you don't just get regular nachos. You got to throw like some beef fajita meat on there and shit like that. Like you got to do it up, man. You got to throw a bunch of meat on.
I agree with that in principle as far as nachos are concerned, but not shitty ballpark nachos. Like
that's how you make them.
I'm talking like minor league baseball. They have 3 toppings and a nacho cheese pump you do yourself, and
no, not so. You mentioned hot dogs. Rochester has its own kind of thing. If anybody's ever heard of a white hot, I'm originally from Rochester.
You mentioned them last year sometime.
Yeah, I don't.
Or maybe it was a few months ago when you visited.
Probably a Zweigel's White Hot with.
Wait, you guys visit? Y'all do this thing? Y'all visit?
That's a dock. That's a dock.
That's a space dock.
Oh. Yeah. Is that what space dock means? I didn't know that.
Space
dock. Docking. And then one person.
I thought that was sword fighting.
Together.
Sword fighting's when you're pissing and you cross streams.
Yeah.
No, that's Ghostbustering.
Oh God.
Y'all had terrible names for things. I'm sorry.
Texit 2016. No, so anyway, a Zweigel's White Hot with mustard, onions, relish, and ketchup. The old-fashioned Mork dog. Best. Oh my God, I love it. But you have to have been to Western New York to ever have gotten a White Hot and know what the hell it even is.
How do you spell Waggles?
Zweigels. Zweigels.
Swaggles.
There is a G-L-E.
All right, I'm looking up an image for this because I gotta. Okay, so here I'll share the.
If you just type in White Hots, Zweigels should be the first thing that comes up.
There you go, Zwaggles. Popopin. What's so it's just whatever is. What's inside of it? What's liver and stuff?
Veal.
Oh, it's veal. Oh, that sounds
veal.
Delightful.
There's veal and White Hots.
I eat all sorts of baby mammals in my tube meats.
So it actually started. The White Hot started as a cheaper version because what they would do is they'd stuff half of the hot dog with meat and the other half with day-old bread.
I could totally get on board with this.
But then, as time went on, they started making. So the White Hot is now actually a premium.
Like this guy.
It's got better meats in it, better spices in it, all kinds of stuff, and they're really, really good. But you really can only get them in Western New York. Yeah, so that's a White Hot on the left and a regular Zweigel's. Yeah. Those are Texas Red Hots.
It even looks more appetizing. Isn't that weird? Huh. All right.
Now, something else you've got to do at any ballpark, and I mean this, I've been to maybe 10 or 11 major league ballparks, and every one of them that I've been to so far has had this, but every one of them has their signature dish, like the thing that they make that nobody else does. Which some of them are kind of lame. Like the one at Yankee Stadium is just an all beef, like 12-inch long hot dog with a bunch of, with a whole bunch of shit on it. I'm like, oh, okay, so just
shouldn't they have like a bagel dog?
So basically, your special thing is extra condiments. Okay, that's kind of
right. But wouldn't you think that they'd like kind of capitalize on being in New York and have like, like a real Jewish bagel dog?
That's racist.
That's not racist. That's sounds like the best thing I've ever decided to eat.
This is a tube meat. Everything is racist.
Inside of a oppressed people's bread product.
The one we have here in Houston our specialty is a waffle cone that they stuff full of mashed potatoes, cheese, green onions, and then chicken strips on top. So
I'm down with all of that.
KFC mashed into a waffle cone,
and then they pour it on hand,
and then they pour gravy all over it.
Oh, Yeah, you can. You can hold it with one hand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's handheld. Yeah.
Like you can beer and waffle cone meat thing.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I'm all about it, dude. It's fantastic. The one that they have for God, where was I? Oh, in San Francisco, they have like these crazy good street tacos that they sell, and that's kind of like their signature thing, and they are fucking great.
I'm trying to think of the best.
Detroit
has a lot of Polish stuff.
Yeah, y'all have in the Midwest and up north, y'all have a lot of that Polish food.
Well, Polish dogs, like Polish sausages and stuff, are really, really good. That's what a Detroit dog is usually, depending on which thing you're. I think Ford Field has more Polish stuff because I know that they have the big kraut, where it's like got sauerkraut, onions, and mustard, like really good brown, actually ground mustard. Oh, it's super good. That's always a good time. They have good nachos too. I'm trying to think of the Palace of Auburn Hills may have the best sweet restaurant I've ever been to. But
hey, let me ask the chat something real quick. If John and I, which John, I'm fairly certain you've already ordered UFC 200, right?
I've not ordered it yet, but I most certainly am going to.
Well, here's the deal. If chat room, if you guys would be here, how many of you, yay or nay, would, if John and I were calling the action and just reacting to human beings taking years off of their lives, would you like to listen to our comments about that?
I think that would be fun.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that. I will definitely do that because I won't be boiling crawfish that night. So.
Okay, Lou has an obsession with crawfish. That's too much. Jake is drinking a Modelo Especial because they didn't have Pacifico with lime in it.
I drank Pacifico today.
Yeah, Pacifico is a little bit better. I actually prefer the Modelo Negro, but they only had Especial.
That's racist.
So Julian just said that he picked us over DP tonight.
Oh wow!
Wow.
What is DP?
Drunken
Peasants podcast.
Which, by the way, is what I'm usually doing on Monday night. Before we started this, that was what I was doing on Monday nights at 9 o'clock, too.
Well, we're just going to have to... They don't have a lot of sports fans. It's fine.
Now, here's the thing we need to look into. Like, are we allowed to, during, like, whether it's baseball, NFL, NBA, whatever, can we talk about it? Well, because
they always can talk about it.
The following broadcast is owned by the NFL and its distribution partners.
We can't show any footage.
Hold on. It says any video, pictures, or accounts of the game without the NFL's written express consent are violations. So we're describing the game. This is an account.
That's actually just a scare tactic. Everything that we're trying to do is covered under fair use somehow.
Okay. Well, like I was wondering, like, does every newspaper in the world that covers the NFL have a letter? Yes, you may talk about the NFL.
Of course they don't. Because I don't know. Free publicity. But the thing is, like, we would be watching the game. More people would watch the game on their things because we're talking about it and want us to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't be a lot of more people, but it's still more people. It's not like we're saying, hey, don't watch this shit, watch ours instead. Because that's really what it's about.
Exactly. Okay. And for these live broadcasts, I like the idea, Jake, of if people want to ask questions,
Fuck yeah.
When we started this, one of the things we said was there are going to be people there are going to be people that have never watched sports that may get interested in it. And goddamn, if I don't want to go ahead and answer questions and get people interested in it, it's a fun thing. It's a fun thing to get involved in.
I think that's perfect. That's a perfect thing to do at like halftime in one of the couple first games when people are getting used to it. But if anyone has any ideas about what they would like to see, if you're not, because a lot of people are just here because of me at this point. But if you're not a fan of sports right now, but are interested in sports, you just never understood it, I promise you, we can make you fans of things. Because we are diehard, stupid fans of stuff, but we all kind of know our shit, so it's fun.
I don't know if I'm diehard or know my shit, but I guarantee you I'm one of the other adjectives in that sentence. I guarantee it.
Yeah, it's fun though, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to calling games.
So how do y'all want to do, like, well, hey, Julian, you're broke. You can tune in and listen to us, and we'll, sit here. That's the thing. Like, we're not going to be able to. There's a place here in Houston called Champs It's this big restaurant, and it's where everybody goes to watch UFC fights. And if you've ever wanted to see 250 pounds of upper body mass on 30 pounds worth of legs and see that like 50 times over, this is the place to be to watch a UFC fight, because you've got all these guys that have never heard of leg day. But like you'll listen to these guys, and they'll. Yeah, I was about to say that was okay. You should have laughed by now. You're okay. There's the laugh. Thanks. Okay. Like, did I have to spell it out for you?
Wait, Lou. If there's something you got to learn about this, and you know, Jake and I have both already done it. Sometimes you're gonna hit a home run, and everybody's just gonna miss it.
Okay, well, I mean, y'all were all in the bathroom when I hit that grand slam right there. But these guys will sit here and they'll be, and I've been watching UFC for a couple of years. I'm a good casual fan, but these guys are like, oh, he got him in a double reverse chicken wing. He should have done a double crosslock chicken wing. Like, shut the fuck up. You've never been in a fight in your life. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Just do that at the guy. It's just rock'em sock'em robots.
I definitely want to just see someone's face get pummeled until they can't breathe anymore.
Look,
and they die.
I won't lie to our audience. I will not lie to them at all, our audience of 12 people. I do not watch UFC because, oh, you know, I love the spectacle of human competition. No, I don't get to see people get knocked the fuck out in my daily life. I live in an upper middle class white neighborhood. I want to see people get knocked the fuck out and me have to pay no consequences or not have to worry about reporting it to the police or an ambulance. I want to see people get hurt. That's it.
That's why I don't understand why you don't watch hockey. It's UFC on skates.
Because I can't pronounce their names.
Yeah, we could do a whole show about how the NFL shits the bed with marketing, but we won't.
The NHL, you mean?
I said the NHL, didn't I?
You said the NFL. But yeah, no, you're right. The NHL, their marketing is abysmal. The only time you ever see a commercial for an NHL game is during an NHL game. That's the only time you see commercials for it.
Same thing with WNBA. Although I know the problem with the WNBA, they don't have any money because they suck. But they still, like, I didn't know the playoffs were on until the playoffs were on. You know what I mean? It should be sort of like hey, there's teams are doing things all the time.
Well, I only knew about the NHL playoffs because the Penguins had to shit the bed. The Lightning had to shit the bed against the Penguins with their jersey thing. Which, speaking of which, do y'all want to talk about? I know it's a week later. Does anyone want to talk about Father's Day and New Era and how they choose to celebrate Father's Day?
Sure, we could talk about that for a little bit before we head on out of here.
I bet I had a better view than all of you guys.
Of what?
While we're doing all this broadcasting, my wife was in here changing in front of me.
Turn the computer around.
I was about to say, you're a selfish prick, John.
Yeah. Actually, you can't do that on YouTube, guys.
Fuck that. We'll talk about that another day. So I guess really the schedule moving forward is y'all want to do recording for the main show Fridays or Saturdays, just depends on when we can have everybody ready. And then Mondays, you know, whether we call it RTP Live or whether it's, you know, RTP on deck or whatever it may be, we're either calling a game or it's a post-game, like during the football season, it'll be a post-game wrap-up of what we just watched. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, it probably won't be over yet, right? The Monday night football game usually ends around.
Well, that's the thing. We will do it once it ends. We'll just let our fans know, hey.
Well, no, we'd do it during. We'd call that game. We'd just call that game. We'd start at Monday Night Football.
We'll have to figure out how we're going to handle doubleheader nights.
Oh, we'll just do the last one. Or, well, I guess whatever, you know. We can talk about all the idea is we could talk about all the games and the fantasy implications and stuff.
Maybe whichever one is the bigger profile game.
Yeah, and then of course, obviously, fantasy sports is huge.
And that's what we can talk about while the game's going on. We can just talk about, oh my God, hey, what about, you know,
we'll talk about all the
Monster Day yesterday or this, that, or the other thing.
Exactly. It's good. So, # Jake's beard.
My beard's better.
Your beard is bigger. It's not better.
It's better. My beard's also red. It's bigger and red.
Mine has red flecks in it, but it's too far away. Mine is like the perfect length right now, except I got this like neck shit going on. It's like moved too far back. It needs to be taken out.
Just eat more.
It doesn't grow right here. Look, it doesn't grow right here, so it looks like I have a double chin.
Just eat more mac and Cheetos, and then you will just have a double chin, and then it will cover up your neck, so you won't have to see it.
I still have this one. I don't want it. Nope.
Come on, you're not gonna muscle it down. Do it for the people.
You still have one of these things left? You fucking
Look at this
bitch.
piece of shit. Dude, John still has one, guaranteed. How many do you have, John? Is that your last one?
2.
You
Oh,
bitch.
fuck. Oh, fuck. You got 2. You have 3?
John, put all 3 in your mouth and power
4?
them out, John.
You only tried 1 bite?
I ate half of one.
Dude. Man,
And
that's
they've been
fucked up.
sitting here for, an hour and a half now. Should I go ahead and eat one?
Put
Okay,
put all of them in your mouth and power through.
Let's do the hour and a half test. Here we go.
All right. Oh, no.
That should not have made it sound like that. That should not have made it sound. That was too audible.
Oh.
I don't like it.
Oh.
I'm done.
Oh.
Nope. Don't buy those. We've said enough. Don't do it.
You know how when you're grilling a burger and you melt the cheese onto it and the cheese gets out of the grate? It tastes like I scraped that off of my grill after I cooked burgers yesterday and ate it. Oh. Oh.
That's so accurate.
Oh.
That's so goddamn accurate. Oh, I have a stomachache now. This is not good. Ugh.
Jake kind of looks like Tom Segura.
I don't know who that is. Let's look.
I
I get told I look like the was it the West Coast Customs guy from years ago?
Uh-oh.
What?
Jerron doesn't like my ginger bullshit beard. Julian. He hates it.
He hates it. What's
He
his
hates
name? Something Segura?
He hates
Tom.
He hates that it's ginger.
Tom Segura. No,
I've
not really.
disappointed Julian. Julian, I'm sorry.
Tom Segura has wow, he's much bigger. Nah, he's just a bigger dude, and he has a better beard, I will say.
Wait, so Whiplash wants this to become a suppository.
It is a suppository. We just accidentally ate them.
Yeah.
Oh, I
sold them.
thought you meant the show.
What are you trying to say?
You are breathing way too hard. That is not okay.
I'm gonna throw up on you.
Is that from eating the last of the things or from seeing a picture of Tom Segura?
Tom Segura made it better. He's
Okay,
alright.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
No, fuck that. Oh, God. Yeah, we're not eating those again. We'll try something else next time. Maybe we'll try something new every time. Who knows? But preferably not so much fucking fast food every time, because that was not worth it. I only paid $2 for those, and it's not worth it. I cannot believe that I was disappointed I got so many for the $2 I spent. You know
Why
what I
did
mean?
you give me so many? Why didn't you just give me like 2?
Exactly.
Bastards.
No, it's not a fun, happy time at all.
My beard steals no souls, Julian. My beard steals no souls.
Okay, we should.
Jake, you look like you're about to die.
I'm gonna die. I'm a dead person. All right, I disapprove of the idea of that.
Yeah, that's
I didn't think it was gonna be
though.
that bad. I honestly went into it thinking, haha, it's funny, it won't be that bad. It'll be probably like guilty good, you know, like kind of sometimes like a Big Mac just tastes good to you. I thought like, maybe it'll be one of those. No, it's not that. It's awful.
Truth be told,
Definitely
I
not
was
that.
so excited to try it, and not because I thought it would be
trying
good.
new things. I love trying new shit.
I was just so excited to try it because I just love to experience the absurdity that is modern American life. Like, I just love to experience the ridiculousness of what we have. So I don't feel good about myself for eating them, but I'm glad that I did it, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm not proud. I'm not proud at all. It's just I'm glad it you know how I feel like? I feel like the Brexit people this morning. Like, okay, I guess I'm glad I did that, but not really that happy with it.
No.
That's how I feel right now. I just kind of like, I'm glad it's over. I'll put it that way. I'm glad it's over.
Someone asked one more time. We'll show them one more time. It's a Mac and Cheetos. They're not good. It's not a joke. I'm not being funny.
Don't try them, guys. They're awful.
I'm not. It's not like usually I'm like a lot. I'm very hyperbolic on the internet. No, sincerely, don't do that to you.
Burger King's gone weird.
Don't do it to another person. You know what? Don't drive by a Burger King.
They had that fucking ham sandwich for a while.
Now that being
sandwich at Burger King, like a cold one.
No, yeah. What do they call it? A hoagie? They had a hoagie.
Wasn't it a hot ham sandwich? But it was like a sub, but it was hot.
Oh.
That being said, these things.
Got those fucking hot dogs now.
Sorry. I'm on Forbes right now, and I'm reading about these things. There's an article about them. These things are selling like crazy. Apparently,
they're
these things
bad.
Are hugely successful, and Burger King is keeping them. Yeah, they're just a limited time thing, and they're not. I'm actually really glad all three of us had them because they're not at every Burger King. So I'm really glad that all three. Yeah, they're not everywhere. So I'm really glad that we had these. But Burger King or Yum Foods is already. Yum Foods is who owns KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut.
Right.
They are already working with their partners to try and come up with something to counter it because they are thinking this could be as successful as
Here's the idea.
Dorito taco at Taco Bell.
Here's the idea. No, I don't. I don't want the Dorito taco anymore. I mean, the Dorito taco is fine. What you need to do, hear me out. Okay, so it's got to be Frito based, right? And it's like Frito taco, but I want it to be like closed. You know what I mean?
You want the taco shell to be one big Frito?
One big Frito taco shell, but kind of like a Crunch Wrap.
How do they get the stuff in it if it's sealed and it's hard?
It would be
like nacho cheese beef thing, and then fry that shit, and then we'll eat that.
Oh, you want them to fry it on the spot?
Fuck yeah!
Oh, okay. Hey, you know also something I noticed about this that's really that's really concerning about how old this food was before even we got it. If you look on there, I know it's legal, but when you interpret it the way I do, on the Burger King thing it says, warning, contents may be hot. I kind of want them to be hot because that implies that you made them less than 5 hours ago.
I'm pretty sure mine were fresh, but there's no way of knowing.
Contents may be hot. Not a fan of the may.
I didn't open that box until we started this, so like I didn't even look at it until we started, so I have no idea.
Well,
you know what? Me either.
Like, okay, I don't know what we're gonna do next Monday. It's gotta be better than that though, because that's bad. I'm having like indigestion.
The show was bad, or the mac and Cheetos were bad?
All of it. All of it was made worse by the mac and Cheeto.
The show was fine, Lou. You did good. You did a good job.
Good job, Lou. Good job. Thank you for participating, Burger King.
I
sound like the Bears guys from that Saturday Night Live skit.
Well, after eating these mac and Cheetos, we're probably gonna have enough heart attacks to be able to play it out.
You know, I did a thing, and I'm proud of myself. You know, that's going to need to be part of what we do on the show moving forward. Is we need to have, we need to try something horrific every week. So we've done growing. You know what I've always wanted to do, and this gives me an avenue to do it and have people give me the attention that I crave so badly.
Clearly.
That gas station beer you see, like I don't know,
I don't know
what the demographic is that drinks it, but like the Four Loko malt liquor that I'm like, who buys this shit?
You're talking about King Cobra.
King Cobra and
guy
Four
who
Loko.
Went to Walmart with his food stamps, bought the box of soda, dumped all the sodas out to take them back to get the return on them, and then bought the beer.
Right. That guy.
I've literally seen that before, by the way.
I want to try his alcohol. I want to try that on air and see what it's like.
Man, that sounds terrible.
This is free from the Burger King.
I think
this might be my new thing. My name might be King Lou moving forward. Maybe this is my gimmick. Maybe I found it.
I feel like gimmicks should be killed.
Yes.
And you guys pick this time. One of us gets to pick next time. You failed us. If you get a win, you get a point, and then you get to pick again until you fail us. But this time was a fail. This was you. This was on you. I blame you.
They were horrific. That's what I was going.
Well,
you think I wanted y'all to have a good time eating these?
You got to pick after I picked Gronk. So, just saying, the Gronk juice was terrible.
Gronkosaurus. I didn't have one of those. I need to.
It's really bad. Don't do it.
It tastes like if someone described to you what Monster tastes like, it would be what that tastes like, except plus like douchebag, like a Dubro. Like imagine a Monster that wore a snapback.
I know it well.
That tastes
imagine Monster and somebody mixed it with like Bacardi's and whey protein. Like that's what it was. It was really bad.
So the aftertaste is cool water then.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
So I think Julian is edging in our chat room right now. I think we're edging him right now.
We cured his ED.
We cured his ED, so I think he's testing it because the only way you would know is if he keeps it up.
Correct.
So
right, yeah.
You know, I think he's over there edging it.
Yeah, but.
Well, guys, we appreciate you joining us on this train wreck. I'm glad that there were other passengers on it to go down in flames with me.
Nah, it's not a train wreck. It's a dry run. Go in dry. And then you learn, and you're like, oh, we should use lube next time. And that we will.
No, you just treat her like a lady. You don't ever need lube. You don't ever need lube. Just make her feel like a woman.
With a dick in her butt? This is a butt sex joke.
I mean... I've seen some wet ones.
Hey, good place to end it.
All right.
So yeah, this is Riding the Pine. We're gonna be here doing this every Monday for the foreseeable with a rotating cast of characters, and we'll probably try to call a game here in the next month or so. We'll pick a baseball game. We'll let you guys know. So yeah, we're gonna be up. The podcast will be up every Sunday morning. And the show will be the live show will be every Monday at least 9 Eastern, and then if we call a game, it'll be whatever the time the game is. So, I love you all dearly.
The highest I saw the count go was 17.
That's not bad. It's not bad for not telling anyone we were going to do this until today.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Ryan.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We'll get him on here.
Hey, everyone who joined, we really do appreciate it, guys. We look for this to become something special and something we can do. This, I don't think we're gonna reach PewDiePie levels. I mean, maybe Markiplier. like I'd be okay if we hit Markiplier levels. I'd be okay with that. But we're gonna shoot for the moon, and shoot for the moon. Maybe you'll hit a star. How does that go?
You're gonna hurt yourself.
You physically couldn't hit a star.
Because they're further away. They're far
very far
away.
Yeah, terribly far. Incredibly. So,
No, that would be me that would get fired. Whiplash.
Whiplash. What? Whose audio sounds like balls?
Who knows? We'll figure it out.
I think he's talking about my editing yesterday when I had everybody in different channels. I thought it sounded pretty damn good myself.
I thought the back and forth sounded nice because as I was listening to it, I was out in the yard doing things, and I had my headphones on because I didn't want to put the speakers on and hear my neighbors, have us, talking about butt sex or whatever we talked about. I didn't want to freak out my neighbors, so I had my headphones on, and it was nice hearing Jake over here, and then me retorting over here, and then John over here, and then Jake saying something back, and going back and forth in the ears. I actually like that.
But I get it if you couldn't have both earbuds in at the same time.
Yeah, I won't do that again. I won't do it again. I'll make sure that everything comes across.
But now you definitely sound like garbage, though, John.
Bummer.
And not just your takes, the actual quality of your voice.
Your takes. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna close this show out now because we don't have anything else. This is just a test, sort of.
Thanks, everybody.
Everybody, be sure to check out. We've got some new things. We've got obviously Jake, John, and I, and everybody is on at the Pine Bench on Twitter. Check us out there. Obviously, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Also, check out a couple of us have our own Twitters for this actual show or for the show. Like for example, I think David is RTP the Sports Guy. I'm obviously RTP the Talent. Yeah. But we're going to have different Twitter handles for everybody. So go ahead and check out RTP, the Sports Guy, the Pine Bench, and RTP, the Talent.
Yeah, and this is going to be regular from now on, so we're looking forward to that. And man, we're gonna come out with a lot of stuff. It's gonna be a fun time. So if you haven't checked out the podcast, if this is your first time, go over, check out the podcast. If you like sports at all, and you like dick jokes, and you like witty banter, this is the show for you.
We have none of them.
Hold on, I'm pointing. There it is. It's weird because it's like the opposite of where I feel like it's intuitive based upon my camera. Anyway, for you, it's intuitive.
Nothing about this is intuitive for anyone involved.
Okay, John, how's your audio? Are you gonna be able to say goodbye?
I hope I can say goodbye. Do I sound okay?
You can't say goodbye. We're gonna say goodbye for John. Okay, for John, I'm Jake, and we're gonna head on out. And there's Lou over there, the Burger King, and he doesn't get to pick the fucking food next time. It was awful. So
I'm keeping the crown.
If you learned anything from today's show, don't buy the mac and Cheetos. Just don't do it. Buy Poopery.
Buy Poopery. They retweeted us. They talked to us about how I think they said our tweet was epic shit.
Poopery.
So.
Like Kevlar for your butthole.